Satnam, I'm Sadavtar, welcome. We're going to be doing a practice today, just a gentle practice for the new moon, opening up. And this entire month, we're going to be doing a series where we are focusing on the sacral chakra and the lower triangle, solar plexus, the root chakra, its connection with our communication and the throat chakra. This new moon it's connected to the energy of the ovaries, and there is an aspect that's also connected to communication. But we're really focused on inner communication and how our inner communication with ourselves affects our outer communication. I mean, this is a really big thing that not a lot is focused on. Like, how do we talk to ourselves? Can we expect the world to talk to us and have an experience of bliss and happiness when our inner dialogue to ourselves is trash? You know, this new moon is in Cancer, and it's a balsamic moon. So a balsamic moon can feel very heavy. It can feel like there's an emptiness, but there's also a heaviness. It is a time for deep emotional processing. We usually equate that with the full moon, but the new moon, especially the new moons for the last year, and this time that we're going to, they're influenced by the other aspects, and it's deeply emotional. It's new beginnings, but it's a new beginning through the realization of what we're leaving behind and what we're letting go of. The moon itself, you know, Cancer is the moon. That's its planet. That's one of the things that it's connected to. And the moon is emotions. You know, it's our emotions are our creativity. They are our manifestation tool. Yet, we're really not taught anything about them. We're not taught how to have a relationship with our own emotions. We're just programmed how to have a relationship with other people and other things on the outside of us. But the most important relationship we have is the relationship we have with ourselves. But it's not something that is very cultivated. But we're going to see this in the new era, in the next age. That's going to be the basis. That's what we're stepping into, is what is our relationship with ourselves. I remembered the other day, because I've already been feeling this moon, this time where we're being asked to surrender to what is. A few days ago, I went outside in the rain, and I just bowed. I got soaking wet and said, I surrender. I just surrender to the grief inside me. I just surrender to the unknowingness. I surrender to the pain. I surrender to those feelings that are keeping me away from myself. What happens is we reject parts of ourselves because they feel too difficult to bear. Our emotional reactions are too difficult to sit with, and that's why having a practice is really important, because you have to keep your nervous system strong. But when we reject these parts of ourselves, right, if we do that too much, we completely create a false reality. It's like, you know, your inner being, you can't live with the self-rejection and the self-hate. So you deny yourself and you create a completely false reality, the false self. This is where personality disorders start to appear. And that's why they're so prevalent, is because we do not have a relationship to our emotional body, to our emotional being. We don't love it like it's our child or our partner or you know, a loving parent. We don't look at it that way. We don't connect with it that way. We see it more as a problem, you know, that needs to be solved, or something that we need to get rid of. Even sometimes in the practice of meditation and yoga, we find that we're doing that practice to get rid of our emotions, rather than saying, I am doing this practice to make myself strong so that I can sit with my emotions. And when you create that false self, when you create that false reality, that's your inner dialogue on a deep subconscious level. And that's what you end up projecting out to the world. So you think that the outside world should be able to solve your problems. Well, I would be happy if there was a different prime minister or president or government. I would be happy if this. I would be happy if that. And when we do that, we abandon ourselves and we give our power away. My mother told me that I never cried when I was a baby. She said I only really cried once when I had a fever. And I was making these noises, and she went in, and I was very sick. And that just popped into my head a few days ago, as I was starting to connect with the energy of this moon, the energy of this moon that is all about looking at our relationship to our emotions. And I thought about it, and I was like, wow, you know what? I didn't cry. There's only a couple occasions where I remember crying and no one was there to comfort me because I was crying because my parents did something really, really messed up and physical. And it just dawned on me in such a wave. Now, I'm an actress, and I've studied emotions. It's something that's part of me. Everything I do has an emotional component. All the music I make, it's an expression. So I am lucky to be very deeply connected to my emotions because they're what help fuel so much of my creativity. But not everyone has that. Not everyone has had that opportunity. Acting teaches emotional intelligence, emotional authority. It starts to give you a connection and a love for your emotions because you're having these amazing experiences based off sharing them and experiencing them. As I'm realizing that, no wonder I'm processing a lot the past few years, because we're being asked to do that now as we step into this new age, this new era, this new Aquarian age. And we're all being challenged, and we're going to continue to be more challenged. And we need to find the compassion for ourselves and within ourselves so that then that trickles out to our experience. That's what we get back. And we also energetically, we can't change people's emotions. We can't change people's behavior. But we do have a symbiotic effect on people, on our reality. So the more we bring the energy of compassion into ourselves, the more we receive it from the outside. So this moon is like opening the door. If we haven't accepted that we need to work on this aspect of ourselves, that this needs to become now one of the most important things that we do. So take 15 minutes out of your physical routine in the morning and switch it with an emotional routine. There are emotional processing techniques to work with. You get your nervous system strong enough, you do your practice. Anything that comes up, you accept it. Stop rejecting it. That is the first step. And this moon, Pisces and Saturn. Pisces, again, we're still in that realm of that last zodiac sign, that completion, that connection, spirit. Saturn bringing it into form, and then Mercury and Jupiter. Another aspect of tension, but this time when it's squaring and applying, it's really a lot of an internal process as well. What is the inner communication? Mercury represents inner communication. Jupiter is a very augmenting and expansive energy, but it's also, this Jupiter finger, our connection to heaven, our connection to our soul. What is the inner dialogue that we are having with ourselves? And starting to embrace that and entering this time where we realize the power of our emotions. Once we harness the power of our emotions, miracles happen. Life unfolds and we can really grip it and ride it and co-create it and be with it. And this simple act of accepting our emotions, if you find yourself having a problem being upset, or you can feel like a deep resonance of anxiety when you think about your emotions, when you hear that you need to start accepting your emotions, that there's a space that we can get tripped up where the ego will almost push away the opportunity and the realization of this, because you'll start to have another inner dialogue of, well, I'm too upset all the time. I'm upset and I shouldn't be upset. I should be controlling my emotions. I should. That's repression. We want to get out of reactive states because basically we just react off our emotions. We're using them in a very reactive way rather than a conscious way. You have to accept that if that's where you're at. You have to accept those emotions. Love those emotions. Emotions are not bad things. And tough emotions aren't either, because they are directive. They're showing us where we should be going. Does something really feel bad? Does this situation really not feel like it's supporting us? Then that's an indication. Follow the emotions. So start to have a graceful relationship with them, an accepting relationship with them, and use them as your compass. So if you feel the second level of, well, I have to stop reacting, I have to with my emotions, pull back and just sit with them and sit with yourself. I look forward to doing this practice today and taking this time over this next month. If you want notifications, obviously subscribe. You can also subscribe to my newsletter on my website, sadavtar.com. The link on the homepage here at YouTube, I have a free 5-day voice awakening and yoga challenge, and that will sign you up for notifications, and you'll get a 5-day deep experience and knowledge, starting to understand. We also in this new moon have Mercury at play, communication, this chakra, with the area of our reproductive organs and our ovaries, especially. Cancer and the moon, this is what these represent, this connection, our communication, looking at how our inner communication affects our entire outer experience. It's like, think of everything that happens in your life as your soul communicating with you. It is reflecting the level of grace and love that you have towards your inner communication. We're going to first open up the groin area and our inner thighs. So coming down, put your big toes together and really open up wide the knees. You can put a pillow under your forehead, maybe something small if you like. And reach the hands forward.
Inhaling deeply. Really feeling that your spine is lengthening between the crown and your lower spine, relaxing the neck. Deeply breathing, inhaling, expanding the belly. Exhaling, bringing the navel point towards the spine. Deepen and lengthen the breath. Try and reach the fingertips even further up. Connecting with your emotions, connecting with your state of being. Just feeling that divine sweetness of relaxation. Letting anything come up, any emotions arise. Connecting with opening up your energy, your space, releasing any fears, opening up the root and the sacral chakras, energies. Inhale. Exhale and slowly push yourself up. Oh, we have a little friend. So bring the legs forward. Doing a butterfly, and we're opening up this area. We hold a lot of fears, emotions, memories, things that have happened to us or through our lineage and ancestry. And our root and our sacral chakras are so powerful and important, so multidimensional, so subtle, and we really take for granted often the power that they have and the need for us to connect to them in a healthy way, a real way, an authentic way, and really honor their power. I mean, as men and women, but especially women, when we think about our cycles. And in this new moon, a lot of those, old fears, memories, emotions are going to come up. So we want to take this practice and sit with them deeply and embrace them. So bring your head forward down. You can put your hands over, or some people like to put them under. I'm going to put them over. And just let go. This is my first practice of the day, so I'm starting a bit stiff. Meet yourself where you are and just really keep the neck relaxed. Keep the jaw relaxed. Inhale. Exhale the tension out of the neck. Let it hang even more. Crawl your fingers forward just a little bit. See yourself as a lotus flower opening up. And you're bright, completely light, expanding outward. Surrender. Learning to surrender is one of the most important things that we can do. Not pushing away emotions, not rejecting ourselves, but surrendering, accepting. Notice any tension and keep letting it go. Now inhale. Exhale. Bring yourself up. Bring the legs into easy pose. Let's open up our throat a little bit, our heart center. You can feel, if you've connected with that energy, you can feel that there's an openness here now, a flow. So now we can begin to bring the energy up, and that's what you want to have, this full harmony between all aspects of yourself. And what we are working a lot on this particular new moon as well is solar plexus area, creation area. It's all this lower triangle that we've been very conditioned to not have trust in, and we're rebuilding that. So let's just do some neck rolls first. Inhale. Exhale. Left ear, left shoulder. Right ear, right shoulder. Really stretching all the neck and the spine, creating space. Exhaling down, inhaling up. And switch directions. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Roll the shoulders back and forward. And then one at a time. Maybe open the jaw. Maybe give around the eyes and the face a little massage. Anything that's tight. Communication is very, very important. And Mercury and Jupiter are in play in this new moon. They're squaring each other, I do believe. And that creates tension. All right, so let's do some spinal twists. And then we'll work again with some pranayama and this lower triangle area. You're inhaling to the left, exhaling to the right. Make sure that it's your entire upper body. Eyes are closed to focus to the brow point. And when you inhale, vibrate and hear the word Sat at the third eye. Sat, the eternal truth that never dies. And when you exhale, vibrate the word Na, meaning name, calling on that energy of the true self. Inhale to the center. Exhale, release the arms. True self. What is that? What is the true self? And how many of us understand it and know what it feels like? How many of us have actually really touched our soul. Less than the majority. The true self is, your greatest lover, your partner. And we often abandon that partner. We look to others and to outside things. And it's because we're carrying so much trauma, so much conditioning that we're not enough. So in this new moon, and any time that it comes up, this new moon especially, we have the opportunity to really sit with this, our emotions. The new moon is in Cancer. It's a balsamic moon. It's deep, deep emotions. Cancer, it is the moon. It's augmenting. So think of that. Think of making your connection with yourself and every part of yourself the most important thing. It takes time. It takes reconditioning, or rather unlearning, unconditioning, undoing, and bringing yourself back to your own energy. Realizing that, not even just a realization, but a feeling in your experience and in your life that you feel connected, you feel okay, you feel expanded, you can move your own energy. When you get really, really connected, you don't necessarily need the energy healers, you don't need the outside things. You can learn how to move it yourself. You can start to have really deep connections, and then understand that anytime you are presented with the opportunity of interrelating and people being of service to you, it is a power that only comes from you. We're going to do some nadi cleansing. We're visualizing infinite energy coming in on one side and coming down this light. And as it travels down the spine, it goes to the lower triangle and it circulates. And then when we exhale, we bring it up the opposite side and out the other side, the other nostril. And again, this light connecting to infinity, so that we are this continuous balance with infinity. Continuous balance with the masculine and the feminine. Inhale through the left nostril. See that energy, see that light cleansing, and then exhale through the right nostril. Now you can use a mantra to keep time here. I use the mantra Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. I inhale. Inhaling through the right nostril now. I hold it for at least double the time. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale. Continue at your own pace. And try to slow down the breath. See if you can get your inhale holding that breath 4 times the amount of time. Keep that visualization going. Connecting with, clearing, making all light, that lower triangle, the pelvic bowl. Seeing any heaviness, any trauma, anything that wants to come up right now, dissipating, disintegrating, and you're giving it back to infinity, back to God, back to the creative force, whatever you believe. See it exit and leave your body in that stream of light. You're with love, gracefully letting it go. Now inhale. Suspend the breath. As long as you're not on your cycle or pregnant, pulmonal bond, that's pulling in and up on the perineum, in on the navel, bringing the energy up the spine, connecting with the root, the sacrum, solar plexus, heart. Throat, third eye, and crown. Awaken the Kundalini, bring it up, that healing energy, transformation. Exhale. Thank you for joining me in this practice today. And take this time with every new and full moon. It's an opportunity, a passage into new energy and expansion, augmentation, a release. You can join my 5-day voice yoga, voice awakening challenge on my website. There's a link up above on the main page of my YouTube. It's the voice challenge. And Aquarian Yogi, which is my online yoga studio with lots of full-length classes, deep meditations, deep journeys, deeply getting into our own presence, the ancient technology of Kundalini yoga and meditation. And I also offer astrology readings. And I'm going to be debuting a women's monthly coaching network and group. Every year I've done a women's course called the Iconic Feminine. And I'm going to expand this out so that we could meet once a month and really work with our emotional body. The emotional body is, as I've said, something that's been neglected. We brush our teeth, we focus on the mind, logic. But when it comes to emotions, which are probably the most powerful tool that we have for creating our life, we're still kind of in grade school and really learning it as humans. So, thank you for joining me. Satnam.